Bugatti want £20,000 to service my Bugatti Veyron. Today, we're going to do it for a lot cheaper. It's a well-known fact. Bugatti Veyrons are expensive to maintain.
£20,000 service is
18,000 plus VAT.
37,800.
About $25,000.
Yeah, very, very spicy.
And what do you expect? It's a super expensive car. Of course it's going to be expensive to maintain. But what if that £20,000 service cost was worth nowhere near that price?
All the prices you hear about Bugatti service and so on, it's rumors, it's not the truth.
Am I really paying for the engineering, the work needed to do the repair, and the parts? Or am I just paying for the badge? Well, now I'm about to find this out myself. Look at that. Any markings on it? Yeah. Because since buying my Veyron, even though we managed to get it running in the last video, it still has a bunch of problems. No, it went into gear, but now it's all flashing every light on the dash. A misfire causing the engine light to come on, and we still have that transmission fault. Because something's telling that pump to keep pumping when it doesn't need to. We suspect that this car hasn't been serviced in a really long time. Dirty girl. Look at the state of it. And in the last video, we managed to get out all of the oil of the gearbox and the engine. Oh, the plug is stuck somewhere. And take out all of the filters and the spark plugs. But I can't just call up Bugatti to buy new ones.
So the car would have to be on site with ourselves at any parts get ordered, you see.
So now I've got to figure out where all these parts come from, and after that, we can figure out whether this service cost is worth anywhere near the price Bugatti are charging. Right, these are all the bits taken out which is needed for the service and hopefully to get this car running right. The easiest thing to do in this situation now is just to call Bugatti, order the parts come and we can fit them. But we know Bugatti are not going to sell us the parts unless the car is at their place. So we could spend hours now trying to find exactly what Volkswagen car these spark plugs have come off, what Volkswagen car the coil packs have come off, what Volkswagen car these air filters have come off, because really, I highly doubt that any of this is Bugatti specially made. Or what we could do is contact a Bugatti specialist like Simon Furlonger, and luckily they will sell us some parts to service the Bugatti. Now Furlonger is a Bugatti specialist and they offer services for Veyrons, also a lot cheaper than Bugatti themselves. And whilst I've managed to cross-reference a lot of the parts I need, there were some I struggled on. And I've managed to convince Simon Furlonger to sell me some of the parts for this service that I just couldn't find anywhere else. Right, over here we think we've got the majority of the stuff. Some stuff we've got from Simon Furlonger, some stuff we've had to cross-reference ourselves, and we still don't know whether it's going to work. The only way we're going to find out is when we fit it to the car. And we'll explain what's cross-referenced and what isn't cross-referenced once we start fitting it. But the first step I think we need to do is fit the engine oil filter and the engine oil before we move on to anything else. So let's start with the engine. Let's go. So this is the oil filter that's come out of the Veyron. The first place to look is for the part numbers. We're going to ignore the Bugatti part number for now and look at who made the filter, which is a company called Hengst. And when you search that and the Hengst part number, you can't really find anything. Now the issue we have here is that you can see it has a pattern number on it. So Hengst may have made this filter for Bugatti, and because it's patterned, agreed not to sell it anywhere else apart from Bugatti. So our next step was to measure the filters, and we still couldn't find one which was an exact fit. Now there was a Hengst filter listed on eBay which did look really similar and was pretty close to the measurements, and I have ordered that, but turns out I didn't need to because Furlonger supplied their own oil filter in the Bugatti service, and I managed to get this one from them, which solves so many problems. I can now be 100% sure that I'm putting in the right oil filter. So in the filter goes into the housing, I've already put a bit of oil into the housing so it's not going to run completely dry, and then I can screw it back into the engine and tighten it up. One engine oil filter in. So far, I'm not seeing the 22 grand's worth. Next up is the 16 sump plugs. Each of these have got a new washer on, and I'm going to put them all back in. Okay, so that's all the engine sump plugs in, all 16 of them back in with washers. Now we can put the engine oil in. Then we'll move on to the gearbox. The Bugatti takes 10W60 oil, and I can see that because it says it on the oil cap. It takes 16 litres, but we need to fill 14, run it up to temperature so it all goes round the oil coolers, the engine and everything. Then if we need to add more, we'll add the rest. So the best way for us to find out how much oil it needed was just to measure the amount that actually come out, and it was 16 litres. Right, 14 litres in, and then we'll add the extra 2 litres once we know that's correct. We don't want to overfill it. So that's engine oil and filter in. Next step is all the gearbox stuff, which starts getting a little bit trickier. There was loads of different filters which go into this gearbox. So it's clearly vital that the actual oil that's in it runs really clean. If there's that many filters in there. We do have one of them. So this was the one that went underneath the big gearbox filter. And it looks like Simon Furlonger have actually made a filter exactly the same of it. In fact, they've not, I don't think they have made it. It looks like it's the same company, look, POW. So again, I can put this oil filter into the bottom of the gearbox with confidence, knowing it's the exact same one that come out. It slides up, sort of pushes in place, and then there's this aluminium cover which goes underneath it, which bolts in with a load of bolts, and then there's one drain plug which screws in underneath it. After that, I've got one more drain plug which is on the side of the gearbox to put back in with a new crush washer on and tighten it all back up. Then we can go to the top. Okay, so before we fill the fluid into the gearbox, we need to start by putting the filters in and everything else. So we've got the accumulators, and Bugatti changed these, but when we spoke to Simon Furlonger, if they work, you shouldn't really change them. And that saves us having to outsource these, but I'm pretty sure they're almost similar to the ones on the McLaren suspension, and also the Lamborghini E-Gear accumulators as well. I think they're similar to them, but we haven't really researched it enough to find them, because these actually work. These just store the pressure, and I think, doesn't say on this one, but they can store up to like 100 bar or something silly. So if I remember the order this goes in, this one first, then we address the pump, then the other one goes in. Now the funny thing about this is that after I did a bit of research, I found out these accumulators are the same off a Volkswagen Lupo, and they're used for a similar purpose inside the gearbox. And from Volkswagen, these are £200. And these accumulators are exactly the same as the ones that are in the Bugatti.
2 of the accumulators were replaced, $617 a piece times 2, $1,235.
So it's safe to say, if I do ever need to change the accumulators, then I'm going to save a fair amount of money. Before we put the other accumulator in, this is where I'm hoping our fix starts. Here's the gearbox pump, and obviously we had the break in the wire. We taped it up like temporarily to see if that would help, but it still really didn't help. So I was trying to find these pumps everywhere, because I know that Bugatti replace them every year for some unknown reason. I don't know why you would do that, unless it is a weak spot of the car. Now what I've found here is that this pump is actually used in an Audi A6 all-road as well, for some part of the gearbox. But still, it is £1,121, which is still a little expensive. But it does look exactly the same. Now from Bugatti, these pumps are...
That was $3,610.59.
So the A6 pump is still cheaper. But what I found better than that is that I could buy just the pump motor alone for €268. And for that price, I bought 2 of them, especially if I'm going to have to replace them each year. But when it arrived, something did look a little different. Now looking at it, looks like it could be slightly different, couldn't it? That plug could be different, so we may have to switch over the plugs. And that's exactly what we had to do. I've got a D-pinning tool into the original plug where I could push that in and deepen these wires from it. And I'm doing the exact same on the new pump that I've just bought. And luckily, both of the pins on each motor look the same. So I should just be able to push the pins in the new motor straight into the old plug, if that makes sense. Once the pins are pushed in, I can then lock them in with this pink clip, and that is all sorted. So that should work now, but we now need the hydraulic part to go on top. So we know that that was that way around. We just need to switch that onto there. See if that works. There's only 2 bolts holding the motor to the actual hydraulic pump. Then it comes apart. It's slightly different, isn't it?
Yeah, it just fit on there, doesn't it?
Just go on. This has got really like, look, it's got like a bearing on there. Like, on that. Whereas this one's got like just a housing. But then the bearing is
internal.
Yeah. So even though they do look slightly different, it does still fit. And it looks like the motor that I've bought may have been a newer model, which have changed the bearing to be internal. So we've fitted it together for now, but I guess the true test is when we put it in the car. Whilst that was fitted, my dad decided to take apart the old motor to see if there was any issues with it. And this motor looked extremely old and burnt. Oh, that's been sending it. Look, it's burnt out.
Oh, yeah, it does, it smells burnt.
Yeah. Right, let's put this in, see if it fits. We've got to connect up the pressure pipe to the motor, tighten that up, and then slide the motor with the pump attached now into its position on top of the gearbox tank. Once that's in its place, I can then tighten up the return line, and then finally connect up the motor and tighten it all down to the top of the tank. Pump is in. We just got to hope it works. Next step, we can now put in the other accumulator, which is here. Again, it works, holds pressure, don't need to replace it, so in this goes. Okay. Accumulator's on. Now the next thing that we fit are the filters, and those filters were really hard to find, and even Simon Furlonger, who actually does this type of service, doesn't replace these filters. They look like this. So these are the old filters that come out, but because they're metal, there's probably a company that will make these, but actually trying to find, again, it's this PAL filter, which is all going to be patterned to Bugatti, these type of filters, because we can't find another gearbox which uses the same tank or anything like that. So it's going to be really hard to cross-reference any of these. But because they are metal, we've been told to ultrasonic clean them, which is like for cleaning jewelry and metal parts. All of these are going to come. I've actually ordered one, but it's not come yet. But we know just the guy who's got one. So that's where these filters are going to go for now.
We're at Bugatti'S machine shop. Shall we go and see if he's in?
Let's go and see.
And of course Bob was in. And we needed to borrow his tools. His ultrasonic cleaner, to be more precise.
When you pull it out, chips.
So it just shakes the water really fast. They're not that special.
And yet, that's all it seems to be doing. It goes in a cleaner and it's kind of just shaking the water about until all the dirt is coming off the filters. We leave the filters in for a while, then it's ready to pull them out.
Shiny.
And that's job done on the gearbox filters.
All done, good as new. Thanks to Bob at the machine shop. Let's get back before any of their dust in here gets in them.
And back come the gearbox filters. All that's left to do now is start to fit them all. I'm of course hoping that after doing all of this service, our misfire that we've got, especially on cold start, disappears, and also the fault with the gearbox disappears as well, which we did get running, but the issue with that is that the pump seemed to stick on sometimes and over pressurize the system. I know from Mark McCann's video that he cleaned out the pressure relief valve on his to see if that was the issue, and that would definitely be the plan once I've done this service. But first I want to narrow down everything else on this gearbox and make sure all our parts actually work. And it's time for the final filter now to go in the gearbox tank, slide in, all the bolts go in, tighten them all down, and then it's time for the gearbox oil. 14 litres, well it takes 18 litres of oil. We've got 14 because 14 come out, 14's going back in. This is what's going in, DCTF, it is for dual clutch transmission, wet clutches. This is what we found works, well apparently works. So let's pour it in and hope that this actually does the job. In goes 14 litres of the transmission fluid, which we've got to make sure is 100% spotless. Right, I think that's 14 litres in. We have got a dipstick, so I can check it, but I think when we run the car, it will circulate more, so this is probably going to think it's overfull. Yeah, like massively overfull at the minute. But we know 14 litres come out because that's what we measured. I think once we start it, it will circulate round, and we might need to add more. But that is in. I hope that works. What we could do now is we could connect the battery up and see if that pump pumps before we continue doing anything else. Or we just put everything together and then just commit to it at the end. Depends.
What do you think we should do, gang? Hands up.
Commit to it.
Yeah. Commit. Yeah, okay, we're committing.
Putting the whole thing together.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we're putting the whole thing together, then we're going to find out whether it works. In that case, let's move on to the Haldex, which is underneath the car. We've got the front diff system, and it uses Haldex, so it's got like clutches inside of it. So I think the way it works is how much speed you get, it engages more clutches and then engages more front wheel drive or less front wheel drive at certain times. Pretty much. The prop shaft, which runs directly through the center of the car, then connects up to the Haldex system and the front diff. And the clutches in the Haldex system decide how much front wheel drive power you need at certain times to keep grip. And because it has clutch and fluid, it also has filters. Again, we've just cleaned up the OEM filter in this, the same way we did for the gearbox filters. Then we're going to pop that back in place, tighten up the bung, and after that I could then put the drain plug back in and then move on to filling it with some fresh oil. So this is the Haldex oil. We only took about half a litre out, so I'm only expecting about half a litre to go back in. Yeah, this Haldex system doesn't actually take much oil, so it's important that we put it all in. Ah! That must be right, because only half come out. And even though it doesn't take much oil, you'll be shocked what Bugatti charge for that oil.
$187 and $191.
$191 when I got my bottle for £29. No idea what's going on there then. But now half a litre's in and the fill plug is all tightened down. Next step to go in is spark plugs. We're not putting these in, and these are really caked up. But Volkswagen spark plugs, really easy to cross-reference. You literally just have to put the number into Google and you can find it, cross-reference it to the NGK spark plugs. These are ILZK R8A, and you can see on there ILZK R8A. So same plug, go in, don't need gapping or anything because it's a new car. Put these in. We know these will work. It's the coil packs we're going to struggle on, but let's get these in first. Right, 16 spark plugs need to go in this car, and as these are really easy to cross-reference, I found them for £17.37 a spark plug. And Bugatti are charging
Spark plugs times 16 at $57 each, $916.
a lot more than what we found ours for. And you also won't believe the labour they charge to do this either, which we'll get onto later. For now, I'm putting 8 spark plugs in my side of the engine, whilst my dad is putting the 8 spark plugs in onto the side of the engine that he's working on. Which again, wasn't too difficult of a job. So spark plugs are in, we know they're original, we know all the filters are original, and that is all gonna work. But this is where it's gonna get harder, because these coil packs are extremely hard to find. Even though they do have a Volkswagen number, they seem impossible to get hold of. I don't know why. But the coil pack, they're almost like the same as a 1.8 Audi TT. The only thing we can see different, obviously the top's different, but this is a really old style top. This is the new style top. The plug's the same inside, but the seal here, which sits in the car, which you can remove. So that seal can come off. And then we can remove the seal of the new coil packs and put the original seal of the Bugatti coil packs onto the new coil pack. Do you reckon that'll do the job? Little modification. The only thing that's changed is this seal. But I don't know. We've committed to trying it. If anything, these are going to be uprated because these are like technically newer than these. We don't know if these are faulted, but by changing them, it's not going to harm it unless they don't work. Looks like we're going to change over all the seals. Let's hope this works. So we got to work at switching over all of the coil pack seals. But since I filmed this video, I've actually found the coil packs that this car uses for $53.99 each. And they're the same coil packs of a Volkswagen Phaeton or a Bentley Continental GT with a 6-litre engine. But first, let's see if these ones actually work. And if they don't, I can always order the correct ones which I've found. Now, time to install them. And everything's looking good so far. They all push into place and the original plugs fit into them. But how much does Bugatti charge for this?
16 ignition coils, $3,923.
$245 each is crazy. And the labour to fit it all?
23.5 hours at $6,627 just for the labor.
23.5 hours to do this. Yes, we already have the car stripped apart, but I feel like we'd have to be working in slow motion to make this job 23.5 hours. Okay, spark plugs in, coil packs in, gearbox pump, gearbox fluid, everything is in. I've not put the air filters in just yet because the engine cover's got to go on before the air filters, and this car is going to the ice blasters to make it nice and clean, get all this crud off before we find out whether this has worked or not. When I picked up this car, we noticed that it's not been looked after the best. And it's easy to forget sometimes that this car is worth way over £1 million and could potentially be a lot more than that in the future. So to make it spot on, I'm taking it to the ice blasters. Right, it's time to get ice blasted. Let's go. So the ice blasters use dry ice to freeze the dirt that's on the car, then hit it off it with ice as well. There's a more technical explanation, which the guys will explain on the video that they filmed, which I put a link in the description for. And you can also book your car in with them as well. But the good thing about this Bugatti is when you do put the VIN into car vertical, the check comes fully clear. There's no outstanding finance, it's never been stolen, and there's no records of it ever being damaged. I can see the full mileage history of this car, and I can see that since 2023, it's barely moved. On top of that, I can see the full timeline of the car. And this car got imported from Dubai, and I can see that it come to the UK in 2018. I can then also see every time it's had a number plate change or ownership change.
So the car's all done. It's looking nice and fresh once again, back to how it should be. So it's back over to Matt.
Now, if you did check a car out on Car Vertical when it wasn't an accident, then it's likely to show you photos of when the car was damaged and auctioned off at the car crash auction site. So keep that in mind. For now, the Bugatti is back in the workshop. And the Veyron is back from the ice blasters and it's looking so clean. Like everything's like back fresh. I did say I want to bring it back and they can coat it with like a protective material as well, so it prevents it from getting all dirty again. I've just noticed all the suspension arms, look how shiny they are. That is mega. And remember, if you want to set your car out on Car Vertical, you can do with the link in the description box below, and I put a discount code which is on the screen right now, so make sure you're checking your car out before you buy it. Right, it's a big moment now. We're about to find out whether all our service kit is actually worked. First thing we're going to do is see if the gearbox pump builds a pressure. And I've got to connect the jumper pack on because it seems like our battery's got a little low. Ready? And the pump come on. Pump's pumping. Oh! And cut out. Oh. But then it come back on again, which isn't a good sign. It should only come on once to build up the pressure. But it kept coming back on. Well, yeah, the only reason to keep pumping is if it didn't have enough pressure. The only way I can find out is plug in the auto. Maybe there's a fluid leak or a pressure leak somewhere.
Maybe it's just air.
Yeah, let's plug the auto in and see what pressure it's got to. Let's have a look. The auto's now going to tell me how much pressure it's built up in the gearbox. So it's only at 2 bar of pressure, which is effectively nothing. It's only at 2 bar, which is not enough to shift. So if I try and shift it, yeah, it's not going to shift. The only thing I think is if we try and start it and then if it pumps some fluid around, but the only other thing we could have done is wired the pump the wrong way round. So then it's spinning backwards and not spinning forwards. Yeah, that's spinning and it's not building up any pressure. Yeah, that's not doing anything. So we fell at the first hurdle. To eliminate that it's got nothing to do with our dead battery, we're going to get the car in the ramp so we can remove the old battery and go and buy a new one. I'm going to go get that.
That's going to work.
The battery's completely dead, so we're going to replace that as well, along with our service. The battery comes out from underneath the car. Even though you can access it from the front storage area, it has to be removed from underneath. And here's the old one, which looks like it's already been replaced. But these AGM batteries, once they go flat, it's really hard to revive them. So here's our new one. Yeah! From Halfords. We're securing that in, and then we can push it back up into the frame and tighten it all down. That's one new battery installed. We're going to see 1, whether it builds up gearbox pressure, 2, whether it actually starts up, 3, whether our service pack works, 3, whether the coil packs and everything work. It's a huge moment. I'm just going to start it and then turn it off. Let's see. That ran good.
That sounded smooth.
That sounded well smooth.
Sounded like a jet.
That sounded way smoother. See if it goes into neutral. No. Run it again. That first start or not was a little bit of false hope. Oh, now it's struggling. Oh, now it was misfiring. Every light is on the dash. And the engine light was flashing.
Don't sound good either.
We're running on a couple of cylinders. That was not good. Every light was on the dash then. And on top of that, after I scanned the car with the auto, we were still getting multiple cylinder misfires. Maybe those coil packs didn't work after all. I think we change the coils back to the other ones, try that, and then try the pump the other way round. Let's try it. Red's going on to the left, and
which is brown.
So brown's going to the red, and black's going to that one. So let's send 12 volts to that and see if pressure comes out of there, or is it going to stop coming out of that one. There's potential that we've wired the pump the wrong way round, and if that is the case, then it would mean that the pump is spinning the other way round, causing it not to build pressure. So what we're doing now is I'm going to connect it back up to the car, activate it, and see which way the pressure is coming out. No, wrong way. Yeah, it's sucking there and blowing there. So these are the wrong way round. That's why we ain't getting pressure. So this needs to go other way round. Let's do that. Silly me. The wires were the wrong way round, and there was only a 50-50 chance I got it right or wrong, and I got it wrong. But now's the chance to get it right by flipping the wires round. Right. Now we should have that blowing and this sucking. Go. Yeah. Okay. Let's hope this works now. With those wires switched round, I could now fit back in the pump and everything else on the gearbox, and whilst we was there, was also going to change back the coil packs to the original ones because I don't think the car liked our aftermarket ones. And 23.5 hours later, it was ready to try again.
She's all in, and fingers crossed, it's going to work. You got your fingers crossed?
No, because I know it's going to work.
You're that confident?
Yeah.
What about you, Leon?
If Tony's that confident, I'm that confident.
Neutron?
If they're that confident, I'm that confident.
Matt?
The gearbox is going to work. I think the misfire is still going to be there.
Ooh.
Because all we've changed is the spark plugs, because the old coils are back in now, and I think it is the MAF sensors. I think it is. But we ain't got them yet. But let's see. Let's see what happens. The pump primed up again once we opened the door. Now we had to wait.
When do we start panicking?
No, it's just building pressure.
When flames.
Right.
If it goes bang.
Can you stop it now?
No. Unless you can quickly unplug this box and take the relay out.
Slowing down.
Yeah, it's not slowing down because the motor's burning
Yeah,
out.
it sounds like, do you know when you got your toothbrush and it...
Oh. There we go. You're going to have pressure in there now.
You reckon I got gears?
Yep.
100%, that was on for ages. That was building pressure for ages.
Yeah, but it did have 2 bar. Now time to see if our pump has actually worked. Yes! Bob! Park. Neutral. Park. Just put the pins on the wrong way. Right, should we start it? The car ran, but it still sounded like the odd time it had a bit of a misfire.
Engine light?
Not yet, but we are bouncing a bit. It seemed when the car come off the cold start, it started to run a lot better. That's running loads better. Got a coolant light, but obviously we ain't put the coolant in it yet. Yeah, give it a scan. If nothing comes up, we'll leave it. Tomorrow morning we'll come back and cold start it, and then all spark plug change. Okay, coil packs didn't quite work. They might have been just a tiny different length, but that's it, we're learning. And so far, the gearbox pump hasn't got stuck on, but we still think we have a small misfire from the cold start. But it seems fine once it's warm.
What do you think?
I don't know whether that's normal. It's so hard to tell. Like the needle, you can see the needle. It's just a bit. See, it just drops every so often. It's like a little, like...
Yeah, it just has a little pop now and again.
Yeah.
But I can't say that it's an even one.
And the thing is, when we scan the codes, it doesn't have any faults on the engine.
Yeah! Let's go home to sleep.
See you in the morning. Good morning. This is a moment of truth, whether we're taking it apart again or we're happy with it how it runs. But let's see if it runs lumpy or not. Good start. That was quick. This is legit cold start from the very first start of the day. Come on. No engine light. I don't know if that's normal. The initial cold start shot, but like it's happening. Yeah, there's no light. So I don't know if that's normal and we're just chasing it round. Because as soon now as it come off cold start, it's fine. Whereas it was way worse than that before. It used to be like, do it for ages. Well, no engine light. There's still filters to go in as well. I think that could also be causing issues, but I don't want to put it in without doing the maths. I think that we should definitely do the math sensors just to eliminate everything. According to the car, that's normal, because if it wasn't normal, it would flag an engine light on the dash, and it's not. So it don't sound normal, but it could just be normal. The only other thing that could be causing this lumpy idle are the MAF sensors, and these are in charge of telling the ECU how much air is flowing through the intake, so then it can calculate the fuel to put in the engine. And these might not necessarily flag a fault up, but if they give a faulty reading, then it could cause that lumpy idle. So I'm going to order some MAF sensors and we'll fit them later. Right, engine bay's going back together. The first thing that goes in is this, and you might notice it is blue. And supposedly, that's because the car, underneath this wrap, it is blue. And I do want to see whether it is all blue underneath. So, later, we are going to be taking off all the wrap to see if the paint's all good. Look at the mod I've done. Boom! Whoa, crazy. The engine cover is blue. That is screaming class.
Sorry, it's just the necktie.
Yeah, there's nothing classy about that, is there? Maybe I'm not your usual Bugatti owner, but we're here to break the mold. I've had the engine covers painted to colour match, hopefully, the rear end of the car in this dark blue. And I can now refit the logos into the engine covers and fit them onto the top of the charge coolers at the back. That's looking way better, in my opinion. Now, all the air filter housing can start to go back into the engine bay. This just bolts down each side, and then there's actually a little coolant pipe which runs through it. Hence why we had to drain some of the coolant to do all the spark plugs and coils. That is looking sexy. Really, really nice. And it's going to look even better, providing that what is underneath all of this is the same colour as that. Now we can see that it is PPF'd on the corners, you can see, so it's wrapped over the top of the PPF, so we're hoping the paint's going to be okay. Now it's time to make this car my own. We still don't know whether it's going to drive okay until we drive it. We don't have the MAF sensors just yet, so we're still waiting for that. Then the air filters will come in, which we'll show you as well. For now, I think this is going to be a scary moment. But I think we need to start taking off the wrap and hope the paint is all good underneath. So roll this car forward, start taking it off. So far, this Bugatti's been a bargain. Bearing in mind I got it for under £1 million. And these are selling for well over 1.5 at the minute. And all the faults that it had on the car when I bought it are almost fixed. But one decider here is going to be when we remove the wrap if the paint is going to be any good. Because if it's not, a full respray on a Bugatti Veyron could cost way over £15,000. So far, so good.
Door trim off. Anybody got one of them? let us know.
My dad's had to take the door trim off so we can remove things like the wing mirror and the door handles, so we can make sure that all the wrap is actually off the car. And right now, I'm having to strip down this rear bumper because it seems like I haven't really got away with the paint on this one. So to get this mirror off, if it's like the Lupo, there's a grub screw inside there which is holding the mirror to the store. Oh my God, no. But if this breaks, we can't get another one. No pressure here.
Push it and then get
Oh, it's broke.
Oh.
Damn. Well, there's a Bugatti mirror I can't get. But whilst I was trying to get this out, I got a bit lucky. What are the chances?
You're joking.
Arabic one as well.
500 quid as well.
What, a mirror glass?
Yeah, with Arabic.
Order that right now.
That's getting ordered.
Yeah.
Somehow, there was a new mirror glass listed on eBay with that same Arabic writing. So straight away, I bought it. The guy I bought the mirror off just said he's accidentally broke it, but I can have it free of charge.
Could we make one good one out of two bad ones?
That one's probably a bit better, isn't it? Sometimes things just don't go right. But luckily, the paint on the doors seem all okay.
Rear bumper's going to the body shop because it's a bit perished.
As for the rear bumper, that's a different story, and I've still got the rear quarters to go, which so far aren't looking too bad. I've done one side and my dad's done another. Me and Liam took the wrap off the engine cover, and then I moved on to the front wings, which are also in that light blue. And I don't think we've done too bad. Here's the situation then, so far. This is why it's always a little bit risky buying a wrapped car. The actual paint underneath ain't that bad. The PPF's come off the roof, but the paint under it is pretty good. I'm gonna get this re-PPF'd to protect it. The paint on the door, again, is pretty good. It's nice. I'm gonna change this color combination, but it's not really the paint that's the issue, it is the wrap. I think this car's been wrapped so many times that you can see there's like adhesive still stuck in all these places in there, and we tried everything to get it off. Like, we've tried absolutely everything to get it off, but I think literally the adhesive's melted into the lacquer, and it's on like so many panels. Like on here, there's like still little bits of adhesive off there. We've tried absolutely everything. Adhesive remover, we've got white spirit, we've got petrol, we've got thinners, we've got everything on it, and it's still, we've got steamer, we can't even get that off. So what we're gonna do, definitely with the front bumper, that's gonna go to the body shop, and that may have to have a bit of paint or some lacquer, again with a few other bits, before we start customizing and changing the color. There's a last bit of wrap to come off, and it's underneath the wing. So I've got to lift the wing up to get to that, if we're going to unbolt it or anything. To do that, I've got to start it, and the good news about starting it is that MAF sensors have arrived. So hopefully, this will solve the running issue completely, although it does seem to run pretty good now. When we put the new MAFs in, we can also put the air filters in as well, and that'll finish the full service. So let me show you guys the MAFs, put them in, start it, wing up, hopefully it runs good. Let's see. Okay, here are the MAF sensors, pretty similar off an A3. Now we've noticed that there is 2 extra little pins in there. Extra little pins, which these ones don't have, but they still look longer, don't they?
Yeah.
They are still longer.
They're longer. So maybe they're not the right ones. We've been scammed twice.
But I've ordered the same ones twice, and the same things have come with the same part number. But they're definitely longer, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
That is well different. It's the same but different, isn't it? That's so weird. That's twice we've ordered the same part number, and twice we've got a different MAF. What is going on? Now the MAF sensors on the Bugatti have a part number of 07C906461, and I found the exact same part number listed on eBay, just with an A at the end. But they seem to be slightly different, before we send back second MAF sensors, because they're different again, if the actual sensor, instead of the housing, works, then we'll take it out. It's just got a little security key, which we don't have, like with the little hole in the middle, but we can get that off by like cutting it and make a little screwdriver out of it. But what we're gonna do, I'll put these in and see how it runs with this in. It is always worth a try before we send these back. The actual MAF sensor could be exactly the same and work properly. It's just the housing is a little different, but that still means we can switch over the sensor into the housing on the original MAF sensors. Okay, let's see how that runs. If that works, we'll take the actual sensors out and put them into the original housings. Goal is to get the wing up and also for the car to run good. Here we go.
That's the best one. That sounds smooth. Yeah, 100% now.
Way better. That's the best cold start.
That brand new.
Yeah, that was the best cold start. It looks like these MAF sensors are actually working and have cured that lumpy idle. So there's only one job left to do now to get it running 100%. And I was making a small slit in the security keys so we could use a flathead screwdriver and remove the MAF sensors out of these housings and putting them in to the Bugatti housings. And once I've done this, hopefully the Bugatti will be running up with no lumpy idle and as smooth as it should be. This is getting me super excited now. We may have just cracked it all. New MAFs are in, we're looking good. The next step, look what we have. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to decide or figure out where they've come from. What car? Take your guesses in the comment section below. But look at it. They fit lovely, don't they? Oh, it fits. There's one thing, I've got to put the covers on. There's one thing that I've noticed, and you guys might have noticed as well, is that these look lovely in blue, but these are offending me. I don't know why, but it feels like wearing a blue suit and then white shoes. Think like we just got to match the shoes. So I'm going to take these off as well, and I'm going to take them to the body shop to get them matched with that blue, so then it all kind of like has a nice colour match with the silver and blue combination that we've got going on. For now, let's put these covers on, and then we'll get that to the body shop as long as the rest of the parts. Just the air filter plastic covers to go on each side now to pretty much finish the engine bay off. Mechanically, we're nearly there now. There was one thing, I've decided to do it, I've committed to it. We've got a new exhaust for it, but first we need to remove the standard one. I don't know how different it's going to sound. The Chiron one, we took out the secondary cats, but the Veyron doesn't have secondary cats. It only has primary cats, then the back box. Be interested to see what this sounds like. They're not the best sounding cars in the world, but if we can improve it a little bit, it will be interesting. The cool thing about the Veyron is that when you have the rear wing up, you'll actually be able to see the new exhaust, which is one of the reasons why I'm decided to change it. Yeah! Boom! And even though this is titanium, it's got to be at least 20 kilo. But that's going to be replaced now with our new exhaust. And this is what you're going to be able to see when the rear wing is up on the Bugatti Veyron. How cool is that? Look at this monstrosity! Full titanium nichromobium exhaust. Nichromobium has made this exhaust for the Veyron. That is absolutely insane. The weight is nothing. It literally done this by hand. It looks unreal. You can see it's the same shape, but that has got zero sound deadening at all. Zero. I don't know whether it's going to sound as aggressive as the Chiron. We don't know. Let's see. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? Put it on, start it up. Here we go then. The second time I've ever fitted an aftermarket exhaust to a Bugatti. How the hell has that happened? The Veyron, fortunately, is a lot easier than the Chiron. There was just a heat shield we needed to remove, the rear bumper, and this small additional wing here. Then it all slotted in, and it was ready for the first start. Magnifique! That is looking sensational, isn't it?
That is lovely.
Looks way better than that big old lumpy suitcase that's in the back. That's well ever. Well, see what it sounds like.
What do you think?
Noisy.
It's noisy.
Yeah, it's one of Matt's cars, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Gotta be.
Listen to it purr, it sounds so much better. What a service can do. And also we've got no lights on the dash anymore. What we have on is the washer fluid light. That's on, but that's because the washer tank isn't on. And then we've got the suspension light, but that's because it's on axle stands. So literally, we've managed to completely service the car, get it running really, really nice and smooth now. It's literally, like, it sounds like a Rolls-Royce engine. You can actually put a penny on that. Let's hear what this exhaust sounds like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that sounded meaty, innit?
That's bad.
Like, it sounds like pure power. I like it. We've done really well. I can't believe it. I am one step closer now to getting my Veyron on the road, completely faultless, and without any help from Bugatti. Most of these parts, we've been able to cross-reference ourselves and save so much money. But for the parts that we haven't been able to cross-reference, I do want to say a massive thank you to Simon Furlonger for sorting us out with those parts. And if by chance you are watching and you do have a Veyron, I'd definitely be advising you to take it there for its annual service. Okay, before we find out how much we saved in total by doing this ourselves and taking it to Bugatti, I've got something pretty exciting. This is the fuse, you could say the $1 million fuse, which stopped us, or stopped this car from actually moving. And we put it in a frame, I'm gonna sign it, and with the new HWBT merch drop, which we've got the t-shirt on now, the socks, we've got hats as well, all different styles, everything is dropped literally today. There's limited number, but the first 100 orders, we're gonna pick someone from that to take away this little art piece with the $1 million fuse in, which we're gonna sign as well. So I think that's pretty cool. Links in the description for that. Now, let's see how much we saved in total. In total, we've just serviced the car and fixed it and got it running perfect for £1,193.83. That is some good going. Next step, we've got to do all the cosmetic stuff and figure out how we're going to do top speed in it. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. It's a Rolls Royce!